What the fuck is going on, chooms? Welcome to another episode of the Men of Zen, an anime research podcast. My name is Brent.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Aiden.
And today we're gonna chrome the fuck up and talk about a new anime that just came out on Netflix just within the last month or so, month and a half. It's amazing. If you love your games, if you're a huge fan of anime, you probably know the same one. It's the CYBERPUNK Edge Runners anime, the mashup from the hit PC game, which started as kind of a flop for a lot of people, but is now becoming a hit because of this game or this anime.
Yeah, this anime brought a lot of people back to the game.
Yes,
and
it did.
If only the game was as good as this anime.
Oh, I'm having a blast. See,
I love the game.
Like, so it's an open world game where you can customize your character to be whatever you want to be within Night City, this big open world city. But like any other RPG, you have points that you can put into different stats and attributes. Mm-hmm. I literally haven't put anything into any other attribute other than blades. 100%.
That's understandable.
I haven't done anything else.
So it's been a while since I played it. If I remember correctly, the more you use a certain thing, the more it levels up quicker, right? Like if you do a certain thing. Or I might be thinking of something else, but
I know, I'm not sure about that. I have to look into that. I haven't played it enough that I'm not quite familiar enough with how the XP is, where it disperses. But I know it was Oblivion. No, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind or Oblivion? It was Oblivion.
I think it was Oblivion, yep.
Yeah, like...
and then Skyrim kind of like perfected it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, because Oblivion was the one that was based on the more you jump, the higher your athletics went up or whatever.
I remember seeing videos of people just jumping.
Yeah, literally everywhere you went, it was, ooh, there's a rock over there. I'm going to go jump on that to that log. Fucking love that game. But let's get into the reason for the fucking season. CYBERPUNK Edge Runners, a Polish-Japanese anime series and spin-off from Cyberpunk 2077, produced by Studio Trigger under the supervision of CD Projekt Red. It premiered on Netflix on September 13th of 2022. The Cyberpunk series was created by Mike Pondsmith, and the creator of the Edge Runner anime series was Rafal Jaki, who is the writer of The Witcher, Ronin. Now, Rafal Jaki, legit, he is a ghost on the internet. I found his Twitter. I read some Twitter posts. There no wiki exists. In fact, I clicked on one link that I thought was a wiki, and it just took me to his Twitter. So I was like, wow, cool. He's got absolutely nothing. But Mike Pondsmith, we got a pretty good well of information to go through. So we got actually quite a bit to cover. So let's talk about cyberpunk a little bit. A dystopia future overrun by corruption and crime. There's cybernetic implants. An impulsive but talented street kid named David, after losing everything he has in a drive-by shooting, makes the choice to survive on the wrong side of the law as an edge runner, a high-tech black market mercenary, also known as a cyberpunk. And this was the most impactful beginning I had seen to a show in a long time.
Right? This one, keep in mind, this is only 10 episodes, so they're about like 20 to 30, like between 20 and 25 minutes a piece. There's a lot to like put into each episode, but holy shit, this anime really started off with a bang, and it just, it's so good. Like,
it really shows how bleak the future is. So, Cyberpunk, Life in Night City is a really good parody of how life is now. Just really exaggerated, I would say, rather than parodied.
I'd say so.
It's just a really exaggerated of what we're already experiencing, where it no longer feels like it's a battle for it's not a battle for wealth, it's a battle for health. Is really what it is. Where like the working class people don't want money to be rich, to buy fancy shit. They want a bunch of money to just be comfortable. They just don't want to work anymore. But the rich they don't have that as a goal anymore because they already have it, so their sight is set on the next thing, which is living longer. So the rich have means of procuring much higher levels of insurance, and in this dystopian dark night city, that equivalent is of if you are injured heavily enough, you are greeted with their, what do they fucking call
the
them?
trauma team.
The trauma team, yeah, but they're like fucking like mercenaries jumping out of helicopters and Humvees and
they
shit.
put you on a
they got
stretcher and they bring
rifles
you
and shit, and they clear the area and they're like, everybody back the fuck up, and they'll fucking shoot a dude down for getting too close. It's crazy. So what happens? David is in it's a car accident, right?
There was he's caught in the middle. He and his mom are caught in the middle of a drive-by, like a road battle.
It was some sort of like
two gangs were fighting it out on the roads, like shooting guns at each other, and then unfortunately, they were caught in the crossfire. Their car crashed. One of the cars, though, that was near them also got into an accident, and their person had the trauma team insurance.
They had high level insurance.
So even though his mom is lying there on the ground, dying, like bleeding out, the trauma team runs by and they're like, "Oh, she doesn't have the right insurance. That guy did," and they pull him away, even though he's not as injured. But of course, David, who's unable to get to his mom, he's trapped in the car, begging them, please, save her. She could still be saved, and unfortunately, she doesn't. And he kind of realizes that, wow, even though she was the one who needed help more, they went after the guy who had more money.
Who had the money? It's real fucked up, man. It's a hard look at the future of the way things are like quite literally going to go if things keep going the way that they are going. And it won't be really too long before people look at this and think of it as historical, that somebody predicted the future, and they'd be like, wow, they really hit the nail on the head. Like, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So Cyberpunk Edge Runners set in Night City. It's like the city that never sleeps. It's all neon
like a more
lights.
Exaggerated version of like Las Vegas or something.
Yes, it's a fully self-reliant metropolis that's located in the free state of California and suffers from extensive corruption, addiction to cybernetics, and gang violence. The city is split into 6 districts, each of which has its own precise living requirements, and is controlled by a number of different megacorporations, including Arasaka and its rival Militech. The anime's story is primarily set in Santo Domingo, the oldest, poorest, and most industrial district of Night City. And it really does make for, I feel like, the most interesting, because that's where it's the most real. It's where you get to see what it's really like to live without the fucking benefits of having all that luxury. And
going off that too, I saw like a video of this guy talking about that. So throughout the series, we see people get mods because that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
The way that they showed a certain character getting modded, it seemed like going to Ripper Doctor would suck ass because it was so painful.
Yeah.
That's only because, though, like, they're in the fucking slums there.
Yep.
And they can't afford the insurance, so they have to go to some sketchy-ass dude. It's like, I'm just going to do it with no anesthesia, and we're just going to make it.
Yep. They strap you down tight, and they say, hold on. But they have, a much more advanced technology than we have, where they have machines that do these procedures, like expertly and precisely. But even though it's like it's such a high level of precision, it's still like just seeing some of that, like they replace like a guy's eye or some shit. And I think it was in the game, they replace a guy's eye and they take it out, but it's this digital one. He's like, okay, can you see now? And he like turns on the eye and activates it, but the eye is still on like a platter walking towards the body that is about to be put into, and you're watching yourself be put into yourself.
It's a crazy technology they've invented. Like they straight up like carve out any and all like muscle and flesh and replace it with metal.
There's some guys like oh my god, what's his fucking Adam Smasher? He's like 99% cybernetic.
Right, and that's so strange because they kind of make it a big point in this anime that if you have too much chrome, you could go
psychotosis or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
psychosis,
yeah.
cyber psychosis.
Yep.
But apparently Atom Smasher is like this. He's also in the video games, mind you, but he's like some exception to the rule. Like he's they even say in the anime, he's mostly metal at this point, and he gave up being a human. So we don't even know if like he has a human brain anymore, or if he's like all robot at this point. Like it's
like what separates
nuts.
like at that. So it's like the what's that old riddle? Like you have a hatchet that you use to cut wood, and the hatchet, like the actual blade, breaks, so you go out and get a new blade, and then you keep chopping wood, and the next thing you know the handle breaks, so you go out and get a new handle. Is it the same axe as it was before, or is it now a totally new axe?
Holy shit.
Like, it's a conundrum because it was done in pieces over time, so to you it doesn't feel like a new axe. It's the same axe, you just replace the parts, but the parts are totally different. So is that what it's like with this, where you just slowly are replacing parts of yourself and you're like, nope, still me, but because it's such a slow mod, like the last thing you lose is like your consciousness, and maybe it's really not you. Maybe you don't. Do you even know if it's? Would you even know if it's you?
That's true.
Like what? Like you get like this strange out of body experience of like, what the fuck am I at that point? Like you still can't figure out if are you a soul? Am I a spirit? Am I energy? Like where do I preside if you're all machine? What the fuck?
Right.
It's such an odd concept. I 100% agree. And here's some technology bits, like some of the enhancements they do in the show are really simple. Like you get like metal hands, you get some metal feet or legs, a brand new metal arm. That's understandable. But then you have like these people that you could see like the lines of chrome and attachments on their arms. They can like eject blades from their hands.
I would totally get that.
A rocket launcher stored in your forearm.
I love the fucking giant fists that Maine had when David's one day I'm gonna like, he's what does he say? He's like, I'm gonna take those, or those are gonna be mine.
Right.
Like, you gotta grow into them a little bit.
Yeah, but they're fucking huge.
That's
Would you guys get modded? Like, if there's available right now, would you guys replace any parts of your body right now?
I wouldn't.
I'd replace my wrist and my knees.
Spine.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, maybe my knees.
Yeah, my knees are bad. I'm gonna get new knees and get like a new wrist.
No, I don't know, something that adds
But then you constantly have to upgrade it and maintain it.
I mean, if the technology's there, I'll just go to Ripper Doc.
And they make a big deal out of it that in the show that you also have to take certain medications.
Right, for it not to reject. Right?
To make sure your body can handle this. And if you run out of these medicines, it's not a good time.
But if I had a blade arm, I mean...
If I had a blade arm, though, I don't know. Why would you need a blade arm in real life, Aiden?
Why wouldn't I?
I mean,
give me 5 reasons why not to.
What job would benefit you having a blade arm?
he wouldn't have to carry a pocket knife anymore.
Oh, you need me to open that box for you? Hang on.
Oh god, my skin needs to be replaced there again. Damn it.
Oh my god, that'd be fucking awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for funsies, like, I don't know, something that would be cool, like a big exoskeleton to lift heavy things. Like if there was something that would like help my arms lift more would be interesting. I think that'd be helpful.
They actually do have exoskeleton like robot suits like
yeah.
workers.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, dude, those are tight. I dream every time I see one. I dream about like what that would be like. That'd be awesome.
So nice, like just having that
just
work,
effortless.
just cool.
You're just like, heavy thing. Dude, that'd be so fucking awesome. I'd love it.
Maybe I would love something like what David gets in the show. Now, of course, I almost said Aiden. David decides to he wants revenge. He wants to get back at the people that killed his mom, and he also wants to. He doesn't want to be poor anymore. He returned after his mom died. He returned home to find their apartment was locked because the landlord was like, "You owe me money. I'm not letting you back into your property because in this world, like, you don't own They can lock you out of your apartment at any point in time.
Yep, because it was his mom owned the apartment, but his mom was dead and she was behind on rent or something, and so he just like locked up, and he's like, nope, can't go in. She was behind on rent, and he's like, I don't have any money and I have nowhere to go, and he's like, too fucking bad, didn't give a shit.
Yep. So he has to sneak his way back into the apartment through vents, and he just he sits there with his mom's ashes, and it's just like I felt so bad for the guy, just he was at rock bottom, and at that point he kind of snapped. He's like, I'm done living life like this. I'm gonna make it big, and he came across this special enhancement. God, I can't remember what it's called. Sendevastan, that's it. So he basically goes to the Ripper doc he knows, and he's like, put this on me. And the doc's like, that's not a normal enhancement. Where did you get this? He's like, I don't fucking need to tell you. Just put it on me. And basically, it replaces his spine almost in a way.
I was jealous.
Brent's a drummer. He does not have a good back.
No, I need that. I need that Sendevastan.
But the Sendevastan gives him the ability to essentially freeze time.
He's the
or
fucking
move super
Flash.
fast. Yeah. He essentially becomes the Flash. Like, he's able to freeze time, or at least let him move super quick for a brief time.
Yeah, like he does it, but it almost looks like he doesn't even have to move. Like, he's just standing still, and it shows him like gliding, like just sliding without ever moving. Like, boop, 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 boop.
And
Mine.
and like, because you mentioned that, the visuals for this effect are so
awesome.
Cool.
So
the
good.
entire anime just looks gorgeous.
Yes, it's
done by
phenomenal job. Studio Trigger.
They did the same. It's the same people who did was it Kill la Kill, and there's another big one too. There's Kill la Kill and someone else, but it's the same style as Kill la Kill, which I can see too. Like how Kill la Kill is like chaotic. It's the same exact people who did that.
But the one thing to say is that this anime has a visual style that's almost completely different than the actual Cyberpunk 2077 game. I wish the game looked more like the anime and vice versa, because I feel like I would have way more fun with it.
I don't know. I enjoyed each of their own stories though. Like I enjoyed the game a lot with that.
But I love the so David essentially gets recruited by not Rebecca, by Lucy.
Yep.
Lucy, you'll talk about Rebecca in a second. Lucy is a edge runner. She's one of the she's one of the tech one of the hackers of the group, and she brings him into this gang that led by Mame, and he decides this is his new home. This is where he wants to be, and he wants to make a name for himself.
It seems to be so, like with edge runners and like cyberpunks and stuff, especially in the Cyberpunk game 2077. There's a recurring theme about these edge runners who the ultimate goal is to die, but die as famously as possible and become a legend, and that's the goal. Like, they know that their time is going to be up at some point, but they just want to make sure that it's out like with a fucking bang. And damn, some of these guys, they really know. There's a bar in the game that when you become a legend, you get a drink named after you.
Yep.
And I thought was always kind of funny, and that's like, one of the precursors to, it's Jackie. When Jackie dies, but he's always like, man, like one of these days I'm going to have one of these drinks named after me.
Jackie Wells.
Yeah, dude, that guy was awesome. Lucy's fucking awesome. So again, like you said, she's the hacker, and hacking in this is another really interesting visual that they do, because they show it like physically. You have in your body, you're so like cybernetically implanted that you have like USB ports and shit that you snap cables and stuff into, and I don't remember what it is that they called it. Like I think they had a certain name
Chromed
for
up.
that port. No, for whatever they called the port. I don't remember, but you jack into something or plug in or whatever, and it like shows it like physically. It's like she's in almost like a metaverse kind of room. So there are times where if she wants to evade like security, she physically has to not be seen by cyber guards in the cyber security system to hack the thing she wants to do. It's really weird, but that's pretty cool. I like that. And our next one, we've got Rebecca, who is I know Aiden's feelings. I think she's I feel like we're on the same page. I love Rebecca. She's an amazing character. She is a trigger happy edge runner that is she's what's his name? Pilar?
Something like that.
How do they say that guy's name? I think it's Pilar. She's his younger sister. And she's a ton of fun. She brings a lot of color and energy to the show. She has a cyborg body that is much more of a younger female, and she definitely seems to be at least underage, and that's kind of an issue that we'll get into a little bit here after we get through some of these characters.
Maybe like less than 15 or 16, but like
David
is
like,
also around like 16.
Yeah, and there's some interesting controversy around Rebecca, but she's super lovable and energetic, and she will shoot the shit out of somebody for you. She's fucking awesome. Like if you're a homie with Rebecca, she will blow another dude's brains out of you if someone even looks at you wrong. She's amazing.
She's definitely those what they call it chumba.
Yeah,
Chums and chumbas. Yeah, she's definitely a ride or die. Like she was like one of your friends that you would like to have if you go in a fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, hands down. She would be the one like to jump in first. Maine is another amazing one that we talked about earlier, who was a veteran edge runner who is the commander of this crew. He's one of Gloria's clients and allows David to join the crew under his guidance.
He's a badass.
He really is.
He's physically strong. He's got a rocket launcher in his forearm.
He's got the fucking hands.
Got them hands, boy.
He's got them. He's gonna fucking destroy you. Now there is a character here. I don't remember a ton of this. It's Maine's girlfriend in second in command. It's Dorio.
She was cool.
Yep, Dorio. Yeah,
I remember seeing her like. I was just watching it, and she just came out the bathroom. She was topless. I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
I thought it was a guy at first, so I do apologize about that. I thought it was, but then I'm like, oh, it's a girl.
She had a cool head though. It was like a giant helmet that was like so a Una. It was like a Una. I don't know what they call it, but a Cyclops kind of thing.
Kinda, yeah.
Do you remember Kiwi?
Kiwi, the girl with she had the mask that Cooler wears.
She's like the cyber goth.
Right. She was cool too.
You find out that she literally has no jaw and no mouth. Like,
is that?
Yeah. Remember, like and when she's in the bath doing one of her she's doing over hack jobs, you see like that face guard is removed and it's just literally like
shit, I must have missed that. I have to rewatch that.
She has no mouth, that's why she wears that.
Oh shit, I did not know that. Fuck.
It makes it super odd that she like smokes on occasion. I'm like, how are you
away
doing
for
that?
like 20 seconds and I missed something cool. Fuck.
If I'd looked at that, I'd probably smoke too, I'm gonna be honest. If I didn't have a job, I'd be like, fuck it.
I just rewatched it for the second time the other day. Shit, I missed that both times. Fuck.
Man, you gotta pay more attention, Brent.
I know. Well, you know me, I like to multitask. Sometimes the visual things escape me and I try to keep the plot.
That's fair.
Actually, speaking of, hear me out. I do have a couple redactions that I think I need to make before we move too much further.
Ooh,
so,
okay.
For one, who's the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh? What was his name? I can never fucking remember.
No, I can't remember his name.
Like the anime, just or like
Kazuki Takahashi is
Yeah.
that creator. So last episode, I'm going to address this. I accidentally said Oda died from One Piece. Oda is definitely not dead because I was just looking at an article earlier about the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh that had died.
Right.
And I was like, my brain got stuck and I was like, Oda. No, Oda is very much alive. My bad. Nobody fucking yell at me. I don't care. Also, now I'm doubting myself about Fate, ReZero, about the fucking, what's her name? Saber being Joan of Arc, because here's the issue is that literally in the show, part of the plot is that Lancer has a mistaken identity between Saber and the fucking girl that is Joan of Arc, whatever her stupid name is.
It's Ruler, I think they chose.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's what, I don't know.
But yeah, I can't remember. But there
while.
was a case of mistake. It was literally in the plot that there was a case of mistaken identity that he thought it was Saber that was Joan of Arc because they fucking look the same. And I'm willing to bet that I did the same fucking thing and just didn't see it because I remember looking at the screen and I was like, no, that's fucking Saber. Like, and she was talking to what was it, King. or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, and she goes on the whole thing. And I was like, oh shit, she's Joan of Arc, but maybe I also had mistaken identity, so I'm gonna redact those.
Probably.
Probably.
I can believe it.
I also had a couple other people be like, really? Shit, I have to rewatch it again. I'm like, no, well, if they watched it and they actually like it, now I'm doubting myself. So now I think that's what's going to happen. So, yes, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I'm not perfect. Let's talk about Falco. A member of Maine's
Falco.
crew has worked. He's the getaway driver. He's
Dude,
fucking
Falco's
rad.
hair and mustache is amazing.
I did not know Falco was voiced by Matthew Mercer. I liked him.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Falcon Punch. Yeah, we can absolutely get into these. So I guess just to go back over those, because this is something I think is important. I never really think we cover it. David Martinez, voiced by Zach Aguilar. Is that how you pronounce that? I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, Zach. My bad. Lucy is by Emmy Lowe. Rebecca by Alex Cazares. Maine by William C. Stevens. Dorio by Marie Westbrook. Pilar by Ian James Corlett. Kiwi by Stephanie Wong. Falco, Matthew Mercer. And we're going to talk about Faraday.
Faraday.
Woo! Giancarlo Esposito is
Oh.
the voice actor in English for that. You tell me about Faraday. I know you like you. It sounds like you really dig him. He's
Well,
fucking-
no, I was
he's-
talking more so about Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, really?
He's a big, famous actor, actually. I didn't realize. Now that I'm looking back on it, yeah, I can hear that his voice there. Like John, he's the guy that's on the cover of he's the main villain in Far Cry 6.
Oh, okay.
He's played a bunch of villains in a lot of different. He played he was
wait.
in The Mandalorian.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
He was the guy. Oh my God.
the badass dude with the sword.
Yeah.
The leader of the. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Faraday was an asshole though.
Yeah, no, okay, that's what I was wondering if you were talking about Faraday. Yeah, Faraday's a piece of shit. He's a fixer who works for Militech.
And fixers are people that
yeah.
essentially set up deals, or they make things happen.
Yeah, they're all, in a way they're still almost middlemen, but they're really high up middlemen. Like you don't fuck with these guys. But a fixer who works especially for Militech, and Militech and Arasaka are the two main focal points of corporate power in this story. And I honestly don't know a ton about what Arasaka does. I know Militech is basically like the military, but they're like a corporate funded military, so they can do whatever the fuck they want. It's fucking crazy, but I don't know a ton about what Arasaka does.
Is Phil?
Just a big weapons
Yeah,
company.
That's
I
what I was
believe.
wondering. Like, it seemed like they just did like arms deals and drugs,
Yep.
maybe shit.
They're
like
the
that.
main one in the game too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arasaka
that's what I
and
was
Militech.
thinking.
Yeah, so Faraday is a fixer who works for Militech. He has a business relationship with Maine's crew and often hires them to conduct jobs that usually involve them performing corporate espionage against Arasaka. There's a reoccurring thing that a lot of people fucking hate Arasaka in this. Everyone's trying to kill them or take their money or some shit. The Ripper Doc, like we talk about, is just a dude that rips out your organs and replaces them with cyber ones so that you look cool or are cool or do cool things, like have a lighter for your thumb. Or, you can open a can of soup without having to go to get a can opener. And I don't
There you
know.
go. You know,
Yeah.
He's a
some
blade
things.
Gloria Martinez, voiced by Gloria Garayua, David's mother, and then Adam Smasher, played by Alec Newman. He's like we talked about. He's just fully cybernetic, and he's a fucking animal. He's a nightmare.
He's considered like the boogeyman.
He's like a T-1000 from Terminator.
Dude, yeah, he the fact that like they brought him into the show when he's one of the main
I was
villains of
happy.
the game,
Yeah,
that's super cool.
I got revenge. I got revenge in the game. So
Good. Fuck Adam Smasher.
Yeah, he's a fucking twat waffle, but whatever.
Waffle.
Yeah, Aiden, let's talk about this. Tell me about this lolly controversy a little bit.
Yeah.
Here. There
Wait,
was some
hold on,
shit
Brett,
going
did you say lolly controversy?
down. Lolly and controversy.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
the same
boy.
in the same phrase.
We need it, and that's good that we have our expert on the job. Aiden?
All right. So Studio Trigger, they refused to redesign one of the characters in it because I believe CD Projekt Red wanted to not even include Rebecca in the series just because they didn't like her design, didn't like that she was a lolly.
Yep.
But Studio Trigger was just like, fuck you, we're going to do it the way we want to do it.
Mm-hmm. And who's that character?
It's Rebecca, yeah.
Rebecca, the young looking girl with the giant ass hands and big ass guns.
Yep. Yeah. So there was, I guess there was a ton of issue about it with, her age and the way she looked, but I guess there was a time jump, and they did clarify her age in an article written by Paul Tassi on Forbes.com.
Right.
Saying, he he writes this article. He's written a bunch of shit on games for a long time, and we've got a few different ones. Let me get these in order here. With a recent Twitch event from CD Projekt Red, they explained that they said, quote, "She is best girl, but I feel a bit guilty to say it because I was once of the people on the creative team to actually vote Rebecca out of the original cast during pre-production. CD Projekt Red first got the character design for Rebecca, and they were like, she's a lolly. Lollies don't even exist in Night City. It doesn't fit the Cyberpunk 2077 aesthetic." I thought it super did. Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Trigger's response, according to the developer, was just simply, "No, the lolly must stay." Rafal Jackie made a post on Twitter saying, "Just a comment to add context for us. Wanted to cut Becca. We were quite against it when Trigger wanted to introduce a new character to existing scripts, but once we saw this early design, we were in. She is a super important part of the story and my personal fave." Rafal Jackie, again, he was the guy who created Edge Runner, the anime series that we're talking about. Paul had this to write from Forbes.com that this entire exchange has sparked some measure of controversy among cyberpunk fans, given how loaded the term lolly is in anime, which refers to an underage character which sometimes may be sexualized. The debate is whether Rebecca is a lolly or not, as the quote from Trigger is second-hand, not how they actually classified her most likely. Some are saying that Rebecca is not underage and simply a small woman designed with a petite frame. I do, however, remember a segment in Edge Runners where Rebecca is refused entry into the Afterlife bar, presumably because she's too young, though if the legal drinking age in Night City in 2077 is still 21, she could be 18 to 20. Later, there's a time jump of what I assume is at least a year or two, so she'd be even older in terms of the character being sexualized. There is one segment early on where Rebecca appears in underwear, though in that scene she's not threatening, not seducing the main character, but she's never actually nude like the other women on the show, Kiwi and Lucy. The end result, however, worked out, as even CDPR agrees that Rebecca is best girl, and they are glad that she's included in the series as the character who may have resonated the most with fans. The problem, of course, is that there might be spoilers. Like most of the cast, Rebecca does a thing. So there's plenty of things that I'm not going to say about the rest of this because you need to watch this, and I'm not going to say this quote. So to end it out, there's a particularly gruesome moment where something happens, blah, 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 blah. I doubt it. In short, listen to Trigger. They know what they're doing. Written by Paul Tassi, Forbes.com.
Yeah, I would say she's, like, as a character herself, is probably, like, one of my favorite characters in the series. Mm-hmm. I'd say not best girl, but best, like, just, like, overall, just, like, friendo.
She's just one of the most interesting characters on screen at any given moment. You have no idea what she's going to do.
She reminds me a lot of, like, I don't know, like Jinx from the League of Legends kind of type. Like, Jinx is also kind of petite, but she's not sexualized or anything, you know?
I could totally see that. Yeah, no, I never really even thought about that. Maybe that's what I'm, like, envisioning. I know I'm like, there's another character. Maybe that's what it is. So, another topic that I want to talk about a little bit on this is that Cyberpunk isn't just a video game. It has another origin, and its original origin is a tabletop role-playing game set in the dystopian science fiction genre, written by Mike Pondsmith and first published by R. Talsorian Games in 1988. It is typically referred to by its second or fourth edition names, Cyberpunk 2020 and Cyberpunk Red, in order to distinguish it from the cyberpunk genre after which it is named. Cyberpunk exists within its own fictional timeline, which splits from the real world in 1990. The timeline has been extended with each major edition of the game, from the first edition set in 2013 to Cyberpunk Red set in 2045. The backstory begins with the USA becoming embroiled in a major conflict in Central America in Central America in the 1980s, causing a significant economic collapse, ending in a military coup resulting in the European Common Market and Japan as superpowers, and the Soviet Union not collapsing. This is coupled with the development of orbital habits that have become independent states and the rise of megacorporations that fight among themselves for dominance. Other disasters have included food blights causing disastrous famines, and by the late 1990s, the Middle East is a radioactive desert after nuclear conflict. Bioengineering against a backdrop of warfare has resulted in the rapid development of cybernetic prosthetics and direct human-machine interfaces. With the lack of government and police due to Central America wars and the economic situation, casual violence is endemic. Many also suffer from technoshock, an inability to cope with a world of synthetic muscle, tissue, organic circuits, and designer drugs. The main location for Cyberpunk is fictional Night City, situated on the west coast of the United States, somewhere between Los Angeles and San Francisco. With a population of 5 million, it presents a stratified society of gang warfare, corporate rivalries, and political machinations, in which the players must survive. There are 10 key roles, each with their own special abilities. These include charismatic musicians, or rocker boys, the bodyguards and assassins, they call solos, computer hackers are the net runners, road warriors are nomads, street experts, or called fixers, investigative journalists and reporters, or medias, mechanics are techs or techies, doctors are med techs, corporate executives, and police officers. That's such a cool cast. Like, I'm so used to start new RPG. Are you Barian, Wizard, or Archer? Like, it just seems like more fun. I don't know. Like, I play so much D&D. These classes seem wild. That would be fun.
Huh.
I wouldn't mind being a net runner, just like a little hacker. That'd be kind of cool.
Right? Like,
I believe it.
I could be a police officer.
Because like in this anime, like they do in the game, these hackers do more than just like hack computers. Because everyone has a bit of tech in them now. You can hack other people, which is really cool.
It is, and that's a really big deal. So like the what is it? In the game, they talk about some of the security that buildings have, you know, like you're talking about camera systems and stuff, that there is a guy or two or three, like in the bottom of your building, that is physically plugged into the building, like looking at all of the cameras, like from the inside, and he is the security.
It's so weird. Like, do you think they actually are like aware, or are they like more like Adam Smash, or they're like mostly cybernetic, where they just like have no conscience, they're just there kind of like, I have a job to do. Yeah. Or are they just like, I don't know.
Dude, fucking, it's this thing where I totally foresee this stuff, like, kind of thing actually happening.
I can definitely say with the way evolution is, like,
it's inevitable.
Humans are going to be like, we need more technology, and like, oh, we have already really cool prosthetics coming out.
But is it just humans, or is it just Americans?
I feel like it's humans in general, because it's like, I don't know, I just feel like everywhere in the world, like, everywhere's coming out with new prosthetics to help people, like, that lose limbs. Eventually they're going to, you know, go more like that. Like,
it just feels like America and, like, Japan, like, some of these, like, really high, industrial tech countries are leaving a lot of the world behind. Like, and it's going to happen very fast. Like, it's going to go even faster. It's going to be fucking stupid. I can't believe, like, some of the shit that's coming out. And now, like, everything on my feed is talking about all the new, like, quantum level states of, like, room temperature materials and shit. They're like, we can, there's some weird shit that you're gonna start seeing. Trust me, it looks fucking crazy. I'm excited. Phil, you tell me a little bit about Cyberpunk creator Pond Smith,
Oh, you mean
Mike.
You mean Mike Pondsmith, the Cyberpunk creator?
Mike, yes.
You mean Mike Pondsmith, the American role-playing board and video game designer?
Yes, the one and the same.
He is best known for his work for the publisher R. Tolsorian Games, where he developed a majority of the company's role-playing game lines since founding the company in 1982. Pondsmith is credited as the author of several RPG lines, including Mechton in 1984, Cyberpunk in 1988, and Castle Falkenstein, or whatever, however you like to pronounce it.
Whatever.
Did you? Okay. Do you guys remember the Berenstein Bears or the Berenstein Bears?
Oh, well, it was the Berenstein, but was it...
I remember Berenstein.
Or there was
Yes,
Berenstain, is what it was, S-T-A-I-N, or now it's S-T-E-I-N.
See, I remember the Berenstein Bears.
Oh, see,
I
I
remember
don't.
too.
I remember the A.
What was the other one? There's that movie with like Shaq or something. It was Kazam.
Shaq Fu?
As,
Or Kazam?
it wasn't...
It was Shazam or Kazam, one of those. But then it was like ended up being another guy there saying, but it's like the Mandela. Sinbad, yeah.
Yeah, no, I am 100% on board. Shaq did a Shazam, is there not?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But apparently he says he didn't.
It was
Yeah.
around the same time that fucking Space Jam came out, and I remember being like, oh, what the fuck?
He says he never did it.
Yeah,
Do you
no, that's a
think we're
fucking
actually-
lie.
Yeah.
Dude, that's why I think that's why I know the Mandela effect, or like the theory that like you wake up in a different reality where something's just different than like something slightly different, and we woke up in a reality of where Shazam apparently didn't exist.
Well, so the theory that I'm hearing the most of with this whole Mandela effect is it coincides on the day that the what do they fucking call that, the particle accelerator in like Europe, where they smashed two particles together, and for the first time ever they found like evidence of a boson particle.
Yeah.
But somebody somewhere in like an old book said like there would be some quote that like the world will be forever changed if we ever discover that particle. They also call it the God particle.
Yeah.
Because they were like, there's no way that this particle should or could exist, yet we have like evidence of it like here.
Right.
Like it just appeared out of thin air. It's the God particle. So they did that thing, and they claim that that's the point in time in which the Mandela effect occurred, is that they found this particle, and for some reason the act of smashing those two atoms together on such a small scale resonated something within our galaxy.
It just took out Shazam.
And that just creates like an alternate timeline. Because there's a bunch of things, like people are seeing some other ones now about like the logo for like Coca-Cola. Everyone's like, do you remember the logo looking like this or this? And I'd be like, that. And they're like, but it's not that, it's this. Man, that's bullshit.
There's
I've
also
seen
one with Pikachu where the tip of his tail had a black line on
that
it.
never existed. I know that for a fact.
Oh, dude, I remember that.
Really?
Yeah, I remember,
Not on
I remember
the
when I
top.
used to draw
It's from a
like
different
Pokemon.
timeline.
Yeah.
It was from a different timeline.
Maybe. I remember that.
Who are you?
You're not
don't know.
our Phil.
Prove to me you're the Phil I know.
Oh, God, I don't know. What
Tell
to do.
me!
God, put down the finger guns.
Spirit! God damn. You should listen to our last episode on Yu Yu Hakusho, which was really fucking good. I love that episode. And also, while you're at it, check out the Men of Zen on our
Patreon.
Patreon.com/the Men of Zen.
Yeah, we have a lot of really cool episodes on there.
We got a bunch of bonuses. We got stuff.
We have some on Toonami. We have some Golden Boy.
Yeah, we got plenty. What was the last one we did? ReZero for
ReZero?
Fate Stay Night?
Was
Yep.
it Rosario Vampire 2?
Rosario plus Vampire.
High School of the Dead's on
School
there.
of the Dead.
Like,
High School of the Dead, huh?
good shit on there.
Yeah,
man.
man,
Like,
That one has a
stuff.
good plot.
It's only $3 a month. Go check out patreon.com/the Men of Zen. Oh,
Aiden.
shit.
Aiden, how much money is it to subscribe to our Patreon to get awesome full episodes?
I don't know.
It's only $3 a month. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
shit.
$3. Yeah.
Shoot!
$3 a month. Go do it. Patreon.com/Men of Zen. And that's our plug. Tell me some more about Mike Pondsmith.
Of course. He also contributed to the Forgotten Realms and Oriental Adventure lines of the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game. Worked in various capacities on video games and authored or co-authored several board games. Pondsmith also worked as an instructor at the DigiPen Institute of Technology. Born into a military family, Mike Pondsmith was the son of a psychologist and an Air Force officer who traveled around the world with the U.S. Air Force for the first 18 years of his life. He graduated from the University of California, Davis, with a BA in graphic design and a BS. Behavioral.
I knew you were gonna.
Bachelor's.
Into bullshit in behavioral psychology.
Oh, man. And, God damn it, I love you guys. Pondsmith recalls that he had been designing games even as a child, but it was not until college that he was introduced to the idea of pen and paper role-playing games when a friend got a copy of the original Dungeons & Dragons. Having a lot of naval wargaming experience, he became interested in the gameplay mechanics used by D&D, but not in the fantasy setting it represented. It presented. His interest spiked, however, when he acquired a copy of Traveller, a science fiction role-playing game published in 1977 by Game Designers Workshop. Dissatisfied with its mechanics, Pondsmith rewrote the game for his personal use under the name Imperial Star. Pondsmith later called Traveller the best role-playing game he had encountered in the Green Ronin's award-winning hobby games, the 100 Best. Before he became a pen and paper game designer, Pondsmith worked in the video game industry as a graphic designer. His first job after college involved designing packaging and advertising materials for the now defunct California Pacific Computer Company.
I vaguely remember that company.
I don't. Who are you?
They're old. They're dead.
Repackaging Japanese games for the Western world market was the main focus of CPCC in its early days. He later moved on to create designs for the original titles produced by Bill Budge and for the early Ultima games designed by Richard Garriott, all of which were published by CPCC. Pondsmith's job at CPCC ended because of problems the owner encountered, and he started managing a typesetting house at the University of California, Santa Cruz. Pondsmith got his start in amateur game design in the early 1980s, designing a game for himself called Imperial Star as a result of trying to improve the combat system of Traveller. According to Pondsmith, there was not much to do in the area of video game design in the early 1980s, due largely to the constraints of available technology. We all know that.
Yep.
Most of the games released by CPCC were Apple II machines. However, he was familiar with pen and paper games, which he played at the time, and became interested in paper game design. Thanks to his side job in typesetting, he had access to every modern, for the time, computers with advanced software used in book and magazine layout. Taking advantage of this access, he wrote a game called Mechton, a mecha game based on Japanese manga books he had stumbled upon in the past. Due to his work on paper games generated, game design consumed his graphic design career, although he continued designing and laying out most of the R. Altolsarian games books.
Dude, I want to fucking play Mechton. That sounds so
fun,
rad.
yeah.
Like, it had me, I was reading this going, Japanese manga. Oh, fuck, that'd be awesome.
You mean Gundam?
Right? Like, oh, dude, that would be so fun. Like oh my god, I'm trying to even
build
think
my
of
own
like
Gundam.
not necessarily a Gundam RPG. I was thinking like Power Rangers.
Ooh.
Like, somehow you have like some sort of mechanic that you combine into one physical thing. Oh, I'm trying to I'm a big D&D nerd and I love coming up with new mechanics and shit like that. That'd be a fun project. How do you combine character sheets to become a single unit? That'd be fun. I don't know. Something to think about. Anyway, shit, man. I don't really have a ton left about Cyberpunk unless you want to talk about Chainsaw Watch.
Oh yeah, Phil just watched episode 2.
We just watched episode 2. I totally want to sit down and watch episode 3 with him after this if he wants to watch episode 3.
Maybe. I mean, I'm down. I
Phil
got some
doesn't
other
like
work
the
I gotta get done
subs.
tonight, but I could be down for another episode.
Dude, it's hella good. I love it so far.
So I love
Chainsaw Man's
so far
solid.
It's been getting good.
Chainsaw Man's super solid. I love the comedy. I relate to the main protagonist as I also enjoy movies.
Yeah.
I feel like we all do. This is
I'm a butt guy.
Get out.
Yeah. I don't know.
Butts are nice.
They are. I'm only giving you shit.
I'm not
Butt and
picky, it
thighs.
just depends.
Depends. I'm not picky either. It
So,
depends.
you guys know the bunny hero on My Hero? That scene of her crushing people's heads with her thighs? Mm-hmm. That's what gets it for me.
I just want to die like that.
Thick thighs end lives. Is
Or
that
like,
Thick thighs end lives.
was it the episode you just showed me, Phil, of My Hero, where Fat Guy gets smushed by Mountain Lady?
No, it was not that episode. It was probably a later one. But I could totally imagine just like,
Yeah, that's how I want to die. Mountain Lady, just sit on me.
Jesus Christ.
Take me away.
But one thing about Edge Runner here, if we're gonna like pull it back here for a sec.
Yeah.
10 episodes, and I feel like overall it is damn near perfect in so many ways. Now I feel like the later half, because it almost feels like it's separated into two halves.
It is.
And the second half, I felt like I wish they would have maybe given like 1 or 2 more episodes to kind of like flesh some stuff out. But like overall, I think the 10 episodes was damn near perfect for it.
Right.
The characters were all amazing, and this anime really hit me with those like what the fuck moments.
Right.
Where I did not see certain things happening, and it really helped like just make that impact on me.
Yeah, there's quite a few. It's graphic.
There's
Obviously,
blood,
it's got
gore,
strong language,
some titties.
It's got some titties.
It's got some ass.
It does
I
have
really
that.
like the fight scenes. The fight scenes are really well done.
Fight scenes are
So-
Oh, it's beautiful.
The music, the
Yeah.
choreography,
Dude.
the animation.
The music at the end. Oh my god, I love that song.
Dude, it's fucking amazing.
It's
It's
so
really well
good.
done for what they had.
It is a phenomenal show, and like you said, yeah, it's split between like an introduction, and then it does a time skip where basically all the time skip just does is that implies that they have continued to leave or to lead some really fucking hard lives, and just after like 2 or 3 years, you're like, oh, like this is what they've become. Like David, who is a much slimmer teenager at the beginning of the series, when it does this time skip, holy fuck, he is jacked. Jesus, he's huge. You just see like his silhouette, like he's sitting on a bed or something. And I was like, what the fuck? God damn. But it's because of all the cyber hardware that he's implanted in his body. And he always has said this thing that he's special. Because most people can't handle the amount of cyber hardware that he can.
Like Cyber Destine, like that drove the last wearer insane through its use, but he was able to use it easily. Like he could trigger it like up to 8 or 9 times a day when the last guy would start freaking out if he did it 3 times.
Yeah, so David has something special in him. Like he's got way more shit than like anybody else does, and it's fucking crazy. But yeah, you're right. Like the last 3 episodes or so, even though it's in like this future time, it wraps up the show so nicely, and it still manages to wrap up stuff that happened before the time skip too, where now you're like, this is okay, it is done.
Right.
If there were to be a season 2, it would not be about any of these cast members or these people or what I kind of hope not. Maybe like it'd be nice to see like a quick reference of somebody, like you see them in the background, or like
or they order a drink after a character.
or something. Yeah, just like something like that. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want it to be about any of these characters.
Now, what's crazy, and this is like surprising because Netflix loves their money.
Yeah.
They have confirmed that there is not going to be a season 2 for this, so this is a one and done.
Well,
I don't
they
think it
said
needs
no
it, yeah.
more Cyberpunk Edge Runners season 2. We don't need that's not to say they won't do another Cyberpunk series. It has nothing to do with it.
True.
That's kind of what I'm hoping, because that again, like the show is done. They finished it. I don't want these characters to come back. It was beautiful. If they just close Edge Runners and then just do something else, they'd be like, see, we didn't lie. Edge Runners is done. But here's Cyberpunk.
Net Runners.
Yeah. They've done
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk lollies.
Yeah, Cyberpunk Cyber Lolly. I can't.
But none of them are lollies.
Witty
They're
right
all
now.
just massive, like.
They're really fucking jacked, but they have like a really small.
Give me your hand.
I'm only 12.
Oh god.
Before I wrap this up, I'd like to do what we normally do is take a look what Google reviews has to say about
and it's
Cyberpunk.
good.
And I like to start low and end on a high note. There's not any 1 or 2 star reviews, even though I see some in like the little
I can make one real real quick.
No. This is one that's funny. 3 stars by London Pastel. Hate Martinez and Lucy. Poorly written, no chemistry, but I stayed for Rebecca. Another 3-star review is not. This was done by Ranjan Kumar Hasta. Not an anime or storyline like Japanese anime, just another American animation. Some are even advertising that it's the strongest anime of the year. I would say not even close. There was no emotional connection. The animator didn't give us enough time for the emotion to grow for a character. And normally in each action anime, there is a wow factor. I didn't see any here. I disagree with you. Sorry, Ranjan. I don't see how possible you could have thought there's no wow factor here.
I say, I feel like this didn't
Ron John,
even watch it. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust that.
Let's see here.
Closing line has been dead since the late 90s. I don't know what you're talking about.
Looks like this one here, Pablo Senna, 5 stars. I'll start this review / analysis saying that you don't need to play or even like Cyberpunk 2077 to enjoy this anime. I didn't. You're definitely going to have fun with this crazy action and get emotional with the well-written drama of the anime series. Let's go. Characters, 10 out of 10. Oh god, this person goes into like a really big thing.
Yeah.
We're not going to go that far. Number 5, Michael Pete, 5 stars. I love the show, especially with being a big fan of Cyberpunk 2077 and seeing all the Easter eggs and references to the game. The soundtrack is also great. The show has a cool story that keeps in touch with the lore of Night City, but my only complaint is the parts of the story that felt very condensed. It definitely could have benefited from a few more episodes.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more, but it's not necessary. They did a pretty good job, I think, in the later episodes where of doing like flashbacks to things to let you know that this is what it's tying into, or they talk about like an event that happened that you didn't get to see, but they just imply that it happened, because clearly whatever the event was, they lived through it, they're fine, here they are now. We don't necessarily need to know all the filler, but this is one that I wouldn't mind watching the filler for. Like, I bet it would be pretty fucking awesome just to see the bullshit they get into.
Like, I'd watch an OVA of them getting into, like, their...
Yeah.
Like, this miniseries comes out later just about their little mini adventures.
They didn't say a sequel. What about a prequel? What about an in-the-middle-quel? Whatever they call that.
Midquel?
Dayquil. Nightquil.
Nightquil. Night City.
They call that shit.
Would you guys want to live in Night City?
No.
No.
God, no.
I mean,
no.
How much money do I have?
I mean, we'll put you in the same status as David.
No.
No.
Nope.
Nope. No.
Please no. Take me.
God, no. Please, no.
Oh, shit. What's
this? Honestly, this show reminded me of another show that I really enjoy on Netflix, which I would love to do an episode on this one of these days. A show called Super Crooks.
Oh, hell yeah. I love that show.
Oh, you watched it too?
Good. Yeah.
Dude, the animation and like the quality.
It's beautiful. It's like French style almost looking. Oh man, it's fucking. I mean, you're talking about the dude that just fucking swindles people out of millions of fucking dollars.
Yep,
right?
he wanted to be a superhero in the past. As a kid, but then due to an incident that happened with his powers, he became a villain. Like, even though he's not a bad guy, he doesn't kill people. He's got, like, rules and tenets, but he has no problem.
He's a con artist.
Yeah, he's a con artist. Because he realized that his life was ruined after a certain incident that happened, so he made the best of it.
He's a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy, but... Zangief bad guy, but does that make me bad guy?
Imagine Ocean's 11 just with superpowers.
Yeah, yep. Oh, dude.
I would love to do that one of these days.
You want to do, like, an Ocean 11 job? Is that what you want to do?
No, I mean, like, we should do that anime, because God, no.
I mean, I'm down to do an Ocean 11's job.
We are not talented enough for that.
It's cool. We have 3 people here. We got Jimmy.
We got Brian.
We have Brian.
Who would be what? Like
Brian's muscle.
Yeah, Brian's muscle. He's definitely not the getaway driver.
Oh, God, no. Hayden's the assassin.
I'm the assassin? All right.
You got knives on you. How many knives do you have on you right now?
Don't worry about it.
There's my answer.
I just work here. I don't know.
But overall, Rotten Tomatoes has 100% fresh
Fuck,
for this
100.
anime.
100.
I don't know if it's 100. I give it a good 9 out of 10. Like, it's good.
Yeah,
I'd say that I wish they would have given it a few more. Right now, the average tomato meter is 100% for critics, while the average audience score is 96.
See, I feel like that's a little... I don't necessarily want to say it's perfect. I don't know if any anime is perfect, but it is goddamn good.
High Score DxD is up there.
I don't dismiss that. I think it's a 9 out of 10. I think it could have been a 10 out of 10 if it had gotten a few more episodes. Maybe like to I don't know, give us more bits on the lore and the world of Night City. It pretty much just felt like very quick and condensed, but I don't know, maybe
You can play the video game for that. That's why they have the DLC that came out with it.
Yep, they do have that.
They do, and I heard that you can find a lot of cool items and stuff.
You can find Rebecca's guns and David's jacket and you wear and stuff.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
like that's one of the reasons I'm replaying it. I'm like, I want to do this side quest.
I want to find the
storyline for it.
Sandestine.
Hey, when you guys get back to it, you guys need to teabag Adam Smasher when you get to the part.
Of course.
After you guys do things.
I'm dropping something on that.
Do it for I'm not gonna say the name, but do it for you know who.
We know.
We're gonna do it to kill Adam Smasher because he's a fucking dick.
But I think that's all I got on it. It's a great show.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. I think we're going to wrap this up here, but I absolutely want to thank, first and foremost, Schminkadelic for the use of our intro and outro, and you can find more of his dance and trance tunes on Apple Music and Spotify. And I also want to thank Calvin Rosario for the creation of our avatars on all of our social media sites that you can find us on, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And YouTube.
And we have a Patreon.
Yeah, swipe right for us on Grindr. You think I'm kidding? I am. I'm kidding. I'm
We
not
might
on
make a
Grindr.
TikTok.
We will be though. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd
That'd
be
be a
fun.
great way to actually market us.
Just
Just all three of us posing. Can we get that picture of us when we were holding the weapons? Just like that is our one profile picture. Like, hey, do you like men? Do you like men that like anime? Well, we have a page for you.
yeah, just list it all wrong. They'll be like, this is false advertising. This is nothing like I thought it was gonna be.
Hey, you don't know that.
Yeah, sure I do. Fuck. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. Once again, this has been the Men of Zen. My name is Brent.
I'm Phil.
And I made it.
This has been the Men of Zen. Stay Zen.
See you, Chubas.